One a mysterious spaceship drifting through deep space. A man suddenly wakes up from a coma. His name is Ryland Craig, confused and unable to remember who he is. Craig struggles to stand while discovering that the two other crew members on board are already dead. Completely alone, he fell from Earth with almost no memory of how he got there. As time passed, fragments of his memory slowly returned. Before this mission, Greg was a middle school science teacher who explained strange space phenomena to his students. Scientists had discovered a mysterious organism called astropace, a microbe capable of absorbing enormous amounts of energy from stars. The astropace was training a sun, causing the planet to slowly pull toward global extinction. Humanity had only a few decades before Earth became uninhabitable. A powerful government administrator named Evastret recruits Greg because of his scientific expertise. Researchers discover that many stars are infected by astropace except one star system, Star City. Humanity launched a desperate mission called Project Hail Mary to travel there and discover why the city remained unaffected. The mission is considered a one-way suicide mission, but it represents humanity's final hope for survival. Back in the present timeline, Grace buries his dead crewmate in space and continues toward the city alone. As he approaches the distant star system, he suddenly encounters a gigantic alien spacecraft. At first, he fears danger, but the alien vessel peacefully sails over a small container filled with symbols and models designed to communicate. Craig realized that another intelligent species is also investigating the astropace crisis. Soon, Craig meets an alien creature unlike anything humanity has ever seen. The alien has a rock-like body and communicate using sound, vibration, and echolocation instead of vision. Craig named him Rocky. Although they cannot understand each other initially, Craig created a translation system that allowed them to communicate. Rocky revealed he comes from a planet called Earth, and his civilization is also being destroyed by astropace. Like Craig's, Rocky is the only survivor of his mission. Despite being from completely different worlds, Craig and Rocky slowly become close friends. Together, they combine human science and Iridian engineering to study the mystery. Their friendship becomes the emotional heart of the story as the two lonely survivors learn to trust each other while working to sell both their species. Many viewers perceive the relationship between Craig and Rocky as the best part of the movie. The pair eventually discover a nearby planet where an organism exists that can consume astropace. Craig named the creature Tamoba. If they can reproduce enough of this organism, it could sell Earth and Eris by eliminating the astropace infection spreading through the stars. They collect samples and begin growing Tamoba aboard the ship. During one dangerous mission, a foliage damaged Greg's ship and nearly killed him. Rocky sacrificed his own safety to recruit Greg, severely injuring himself in the process. Greg led risked his life to save Rocky as well, proving how much they now care for each other. Their bond evolves beyond friendship into complete trust and loyalty. Meanwhile, more flashbacks reveal the shocking truth about Greg's mission. Unlike the other astronauts, Greg was never brave enough to volunteer for the one-way trip. After the original backup scientist died in an accident, he was secretly forced Greg into the spacecraft against his will because humanity had no more other qualified option left. This explains why Craig woke up with memory loss and no understanding of why he was there. Eventually, Craig and Rocky successfully bridged enough thermoball to save Earth. Rocky even gives Greg enough fuel to potentially return home after completing the mission, despite it delaying Rocky's own return. The emotional scene display impacts audience because it shows the depth of Rocky's friendship and sacrifice. However, disaster strike on final time. The evolved thermoball being eaten through special xenon material used in Rocky's ship. Greg realized that if Rocky continued home alone, both Rocky and his species will die. Greg now faces an impossible choice: return to Earth after a year away, or sacrifice his chain, go to home in order to save his only friend. In the end, Greg chose friendship over returning home. He sends the thermoball sample back to Earth using automated robots, ensuring humanity can survive, then turn his ship around to recruit Rocky. Together, they travel back to Earth. The movie concludes years later on Rocky's home planet. The Eritreans build a special biodome where Craig can save life. Instead of become a famous hero on Earth, Craig finds peace teaching science to alien children alongside his best friend Rocky. Although he is eventually given the option to return to Earth, Greg chose to remain on Earth, finally finding purpose, friendship, and a true home.